Get in here, get in here. Hello. My name is Kristen Tinsley, and I just had a panniculectomy, liposuction of the flanks, and a abdominoplasty 8 days ago. And I'm still alive. Let me just take a deep breath. Just got out of the shower. I'm not doing my hair. As the days go on, as the weeks go on, as I keep this little blog that I decided to do for my YouTube channel, I have my own personal YouTube channel. Like, girl, you've never used it. You might as well put it to some good use. I have my other YouTube channel. If you want to check that out, I am a tarot card reader and a psychic medium. So I have my other, but I'll link the link down below. But if you want to check it out, it's called The Divine Comedian Tarot. But anyway, this is why we're here. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about plus size plastic surgery and how excited we are that medicine has advanced enough to help people who are not exactly at an ideal BMI and probably never will be. Okay, I know that sounds very negative. You know, every single nutritionist that I've ever seen, every person at the gym, everything is, oh, you should be more positive. You'll get there. You'll get there. Listen, I've been overweight for 40 years and I'm only 41. So I know my body. I know my body inside and out. I know how much it's capable of losing. I know very well how much it's capable of putting back on as well. So let's just keep it a buck. Okay, some of us don't reach our goals. So if you are considering getting plus size plastic surgery, you're probably scouring the internet right now, looking at pictures of before and after, and then looking at your stomach and being like, okay, yeah, cool, awesome, I'm gonna do this. That's what I'm gonna look like. No. That is not what you should expect. I'm only 8 days out and I decided to do this to keep a little some documentation about the progress. Although I am not ready to show anybody what my stomach looks like currently, because it's extremely swollen. It is very much black and blue, and it hurts like a motherfucker. If you don't like cursing, hard left, because there's going to be some cursing up in here, okay? So I created this channel for people who are single like me. Everybody kind of looked at me like with two heads when they were like, oh, what do you mean you don't have anyone to help you at home? And I'm like, I don't have anybody to help me at home. I'm single. I don't have children. I don't live with anybody. I take care of myself. Like, can you just give me some tips and tricks maybe? I don't know. I'm not going to lie. Nobody is completely alone. I'm not completely alone in my life. I do have friends and some family. So for the first couple of days, actually, you know what? Before we get into that, let's go back a little bit. We're going to go back a little bit because everybody has a story. Everybody has a story of how they got to where they are right now. So I had a gastric sleeve done 3 years ago to the day that I had the panniculectomy, which was December 17th. Before surgery, probably in the mid 2000s, 2013, I graduated college in 2009. So between 2009 and 2016, I was in a very abusive relationship. Well, I got out of the relationship, I think 2014 or 15. Honestly, I don't remember, and I really don't care. But while in that relationship, I had ballooned up to a little over 600 pounds. I remember that being my highest documented weight at the time. I was severely depressed. I was living with someone who was an alcoholic, someone who was emotionally abusive, manipulative. It got me to the point where I wasn't really able to make decisions on my own. I just graduated from college. I wanted to get out there in the entertainment industry. I wanted to, really get as much, because when you're working and you're going through college, and you're paying rent, you're paying a car note and all that, you don't always have time to intern. So after college, I had to take what I could get, and I did a lot, and I learned a lot. And everything that I learned in the entertainment industry while I was doing that, I do use today. Although it was very hard to get around, New York City, sometimes, when you're big, you don't notice. You don't really notice. I hadn't noticed how big I got, because in my head, I was like, I just got to get through this. I just need to get where I need to go, so whatever. But I didn't realize it at the time. So, anyway, that relationship ended. I moved out. I stayed with my mom for a little while, but in the meantime, I joined kickboxing I think I just hit like 600, and then I had dropped some weight after that because I was in and out of the hospital with all kinds of infections. And I remember them telling me, listen, we want you to go see, a bariatric surgeon. I had no idea what that was. And I looked it up and I was like, oh, weight loss surgery, no way. Because sometimes people, when they hear weight loss surgery, it triggers them. If you get triggered by the word weight loss surgery, please get off this channel, because I'm just going to tell you this now. If you are extremely overweight and you do not have weight loss surgery, 9 times out of 10, your insurance company will not cover your skin removal surgery. Period. They will if it's, I think they will, but it's only to a certain extent. I'm not 100% sure. I'm not here to advocate for weight loss surgery. It's just something that I did. It's a personal choice. I needed to do it. I had to do it. If I had to do it all over again, I'd do it again. Okay? Knowing what I know now, yeah, I would do it again. 100%. Saved me, 100%. Because it's not just a matter of all the time of, oh, just stop eating donuts or stop eating chips or fast food or anything like that. It's not always that. Sometimes, well, all the time, most of the time, there's genetics, there's Hashimoto's thyroid, there's PCOS, there's genetics, there's insulin resistance, there's all kinds of things tied into this body that make me have to work 10 times harder than anybody else to try to lose weight. My body loves to hold on to fat, loves it. And weight loss surgery was the only thing that stopped it from gaining weight. I was so used to gaining upwards of 60 to 80 pounds per year, regardless of what I did. And then once I had weight loss surgery, I was able to maintain an over 200-pound weight loss, because here's the thing. Yes, I was 600 pounds at one point from kickboxing and diet alone. Okay? Now, I'm not advocating kickboxing either, although it is one of the best ways to lose weight, I guarantee you. I got myself down to like 3 something. And then my sister-in-law got really, really sick. And it was horrible. For like a whole year, we were back and forth to the city, hanging outside the hospital, eating fast food. I did not want to be around anybody. I had a horrible panic attack in kickboxing. I couldn't go back. It was just really, really scary. I couldn't do anything. I know I'm making a slew of excuses, but I just literally went downhill from there. I couldn't concentrate on anything other than my sister-in-law and her sickness. She unfortunately did pass away. So after that, and during that whole time, I remember being in the hospital with her, and this doctor came in and he was like, if this was you, you'd be dead already. Because just so you know that a lot of cancer treatments don't work on obese people, and left the room. He said what he said, dropped the mic, and left the room. So I was like, oh, okay. But that hit home, because you know what? This could have been me. She had ovarian cancer, cervical cancer. Yeah, it could be me. Could have been me. Could have easily been you too. And what if it didn't work? Or, God forbid. So I made a very conscious promise to her, Jessie, and I said, I'm going to do something about my weight, and I'm going to get weight loss surgery, and I'm going to take care of myself, and I'm finally going to set myself free from this. And she was like, oh, okay, whatever, because she was super duper skinny, even before she had cancer. Afterwards, it was just, it was a lot. So she actually died on my birthday, which is December 9th. She died on my birthday, And I knew that was going to happen. I just felt it, you know, being a medium, being intuitive. I just kind of felt like that was going to happen. And it did. So there was always that thing where she was just super duper skinny. It was like, you don't understand anything. Like, you're really skinny. You can fit into anything. And she was like, that's not true. It was so funny. I miss her. But yeah. So anyway, yeah. So I had weight loss surgery, lost a bunch of weight. It was a wonderful experience. I learned a lot about myself. I learned a lot about food. I learned a lot about people. I learned a lot about everything. So here I am now, 3 years later, and going through it again. Okay. So let's say you've made your appointment, you've gone to the doctor, you've documented all your rashes, your infections, whatever you need to document. I had really good doctors that, you know, I would go in and I would get the rashes checked because, like, when it gets too hot, like, and I just learned to live with it. You know, I was never the type that, you know, would go to the doctor because it's embarrassing to have to go to the doctor. And I'm being very real right now, and lift up, you know, your stomach to show them what's going on there, and then have to deal with the shame of them telling you, well, if you just lost weight, this would go away. All right, well, I've already lost over 200 pounds. How much more freaking weight do you want me to lose? It's still a problem. It's still an issue. You know, what can we do here about this? So my primary care physician, I love him to death. You can always email me and I will give you his name, but you of course have to live on Long Island. Was very, very cool. And he said, you know what, enough. This is enough. Like, you can't, I'm going to send you to a general surgeon. He's going to check you out. He's going to write a letter. I'm going to write a letter, and we're going to get this approved. And sure enough, he did. I went to go see a general surgeon, and he was like, this is panniculitis. He goes, this is not going to go away unless you get this skin removed, period. And that's it. So I was like, okay. And I got the letter from my doctor, and I got the letter from the surgeon, and I gave it to the plastic surgeon's office, because when I went into the plastic surgeon's office and I met my surgeon for the first time, you know, the people that did the weight loss surgery, they have a plastic surgery suite in the same building. They wanted me to be much, much lower weight before they would do the surgery. And I'm not saying that they're wrong. I'm not. If your doctor tells you, listen, I need you to lose 20, 30 more pounds, think back to a time where you had to lose several hundred pounds. 20, 30 pounds is not exactly asking you to die. Okay, 20, 30 pounds to me is a lot because it takes me a long time to lose 20, 30 pounds. It takes a while. I have to, like, fast for days. I have to work out like a beast. I have to, you know, refrain from eating anything other than what I'm supposed to eat, you know, no alcohol, no nothing. So there's that. So I get it. I completely get it, because you get to a point where you're just done and you're like, all right, just cut this thing off already. But whoa, just relax. You're getting there. You're almost there. Okay. So let's say you're approved. You're approved. You have your surgery date. If your surgery date is within the same month and you're not ready, don't just take the first date that's offered to you. Be ready. So before you know, like, if you know, like, okay, I'm going to get this approved, be ready. Make sure that your job knows that you're going to be gone for at least 4 to 6 weeks. This is week 2, and I can tell you right now that there's no way that I'm ready to go back to work. Even if I worked a desk job, there's no way that I would be able to, because I'm sitting here right now and my stomach is burning. Okay. There's no way. All right. So that's step number 1. Make sure that your job knows that you're going to be gone for at least 4 to 6 weeks. Believe you can file for disability, although it's not much money, but make sure that you have enough money stacked away to cover your bills for at least a month or more. Yeah, I know that's hard. I did my surgery during Christmas. I told everybody, I was like, listen, like, I had to pay out of pocket because the insurance covered the panniculectomy, but they did not cover the abdominoplasty or the liposuction. That I had to pay for on my own. No problem, but I had to pay for it on my own. Wondering how much that cost? About it was about $4,000 for the abdominoplasty for that, and the liposuction. It was $1,200 for the anesthesiologist and $1,400 for the hospital fee, because the surgeon only can book the room for the time that it's needed. So the panniculectomy usually takes about 2 hours. That's a guesstimate. So I had to pay for 2 hours additional plastic anesthesia. I'll pay an anesthesiologist anything they want, honey, okay? Because they're the ones that keep you alive. My surgery took 6 hours. So I was in surgery for 6 hours. So now I have to pay an additional 2 hours out of my pocket. But like I said, no problem, because I wanted to make sure that it was he didn't think that he was going to be able to do for me what he thought. What he thought, I don't know. We never really discussed what it was going to look like afterwards, because there was a big gap in time from the first time he met me to when he saw me again. Like, I did not have high expectations. I didn't know what it was going to look like. Okay. He does in his mind as to where it's going to, where it's going to be. But I can't just sit there and pick in a catalog, this is what I want my stomach to look like. It doesn't work that way. It just doesn't. So, all right. So what are you going to need? So now you're approved. You have your date. You've told your job. I kept it pretty quiet. I told everybody that I was getting weight loss surgery, but this time I didn't tell a soul. I didn't tell anybody until I had to, because it's just a matter of, like, my date, when I got approved, and my date happened very, very quickly. So I kind of had not a lot of time to tell people, but I knew that it was that it was definitely going to be a possibility. I knew that it was going to be a possibility, that it was going to be happening, but I just didn't know when. And then as soon as they called me and like, listen, we have this date, we want to get it done as fast as possible because of COVID, because of this, because of that. We don't really want to, put this off, because if we do, we don't know when we're going to be able to get you in for surgery, because God forbid the hospitals, whatever, it could take, who knows. Okay. So I didn't have a lot of time, but I knew, and I didn't tell anybody what I was planning on doing. My advice to you, do not tell a lot of people what you're doing. Keep it to yourself. All right. Keep it to yourself. Keep it quiet. Only tell the people who you need to tell. Because of COVID, no one's going to be able to go to the hospital with you. They're literally going to have to be able to just drop you off. You're going to wait in a waiting room, and they're going to take you to your room. You're going to get changed, and you're going to sit there, unfortunately, by yourself in the hospital. I wasn't allowed to bring anything, but other people brought cell phones. I would recommend doing that just in case they lose it. The first couple of days of surgery, I would rather not relive that, because it was a freaking nightmare. I literally fell asleep. I think I went to bed the night before. I was okay. I fell asleep for a little bit in the room. Plastic surgeon came in, and he marked me all up, talked to me for a little bit, and it's like, all right, I'll see you in a little bit. Anesthesia came in, talked to me, reassured me, everything was good. Nurses came in, prepped me, whatever they needed to do, wheeled me in. I got into the surgical suite, and they were playing hip-hop music. I don't remember who they were playing, but they were playing hip-hop music, and I was like, oh, okay. I was like, okay. And they're like, oh, do you have a preference to music? And I was like, no. I said, actually, this is good. I said, this is cool. And the anesthesiologist put something, he's like, all right, he's like, I'm going to give you something to relax. And I was like, oh, okay. I'm like, I'm fine. And that was it. I was out. I laid down. I think I was out before I even lay down. I was just out. He just knocked me right out. And then they woke up, and I remember this nurse looking at me, and she's like, you look gorgeous. And I was like, okay, shit. I'm like, I didn't feel shit. And they're like, good, we hope not. Ow. Oh, laughing sucks. You'll find out. So, I got home. I was in the hospital. I knew I didn't want to stay there, because I knew what was the point in staying there. What were they really going to do for me besides leave me in my bed? At least if I was home, I would be around people. Like, I would be comfortable. Ugh. The vomiting was horrible. Imagine trying to vomit when you just had stomach. It was bad. I'm not gonna lie. It was bad. It was bad. But I got through it. And the nurses at the hospital were angels sent from above. Really, they really, really were so sweet and so nice. And I got through it. I got discharged. My sister picked me up. Definitely bring a pillow from home or a pillow from the hospital to hold over your abdomen as you're in the car, because every single bump, every break, every anything, try to get someone who has an SUV to pick you up, because it's going to be very hard for you to be able to get out of like a lower car. Okay, so if you could do that. Let's see. What else? As soon as I got home, I was still throwing up. Make sure you have like a barf thing with you. Do not lay down on your back. You will not be able to get up. I'm not kidding. You have to either sleep on the couch. I have a recliner couch, and I also have a bed that reclines. I could not be on my bed because it was just too, I have a purple bed, so it was just too gushy and it was cold, and there was just no way. So my friend, my very good friend of mine, who also had the same surgery as me years ago, hers is a little bit different, but she got it. She was with me. But I'm telling you, if you have to throw up, you can risk choking to death on your own vomit. That's what's so dangerous about being by yourself during the surgery. So even though we consider ourselves to be alone, if you have to hire help for a couple of days, call your cousin, your friend, somebody is going to have to stay with you for the first 1 to 2, maybe even 3 nights, because you're not going to be able to get up. You're going to need help getting up. And I'm telling you, the farther you lay back, I would say the harder it is to get up, because you will not be able to use your abdominal muscles. You will not be able to use them. You can use them, but you're going to feel it. And if there's any cough or sneeze or anything, you are going to feel, I had to cough so bad. And it was torture. It's literally like, and then all of a sudden, eventually, like if I would drink something warm, I would cough a little bit harder, which sent shock waves of heat and pain throughout my stomach, and then something would come up, because you have the tube that goes down into your lungs. So of course now you're getting rid of all the crap that's in your lungs from surgery, and it's all coming up. So it hurts. Let's see what else. I just kept my hair like this. I'm not messing with my hair. I just keep it down. When I come out of the shower, let it dry, and then I tie it back up. Showering, you will not be able to do until your first pre-op appointment. You're going to have a binder on. I will show you. Hold on. This is the binder. Okay. It just looks like a big, like stretchy, kind of like a, it has Velcro here. It has Velcro on one side, and then the other side it doesn't, so that it just literally wraps around your body and hugs you very, very tight. You are going to hate this thing so much, especially if you got liposuction, like I did, along the flanks, which is the side of the body. Ooh, because there's like, it's not just that thing, they put pads in there. And like the first day I was looking at my body and I was like, oh my God, like what? And then I love myself, but I couldn't look at my body. I rarely looked at my body as it was before surgery. Like I would literally, like I would walk past the mirror naked and just be like, oh my God. Like I never really looked at it. The first time I ever took a picture of my stomach was a couple nights before surgery, so I could remember what was there before. but I never really like looked at it. And now it's like, ugh, because you feel the pain and you're just kind of imagining in your head what it looks like. And it's scary. And you're like, oh my God. But I did not take that binder off until I got to my first doctor's appointment. And that was a relief. Do not take that binder off, especially if you're by yourself, because you can pass out. I had read about that. I had heard about it. Plenty of people had said that in like the Facebook groups that I were in, where people, felt like they're going to pass out. Same thing as the first time you take a shower. Would I recommend getting a shower seat? I didn't need one. I didn't feel like I was going to pass out. But like I said, everybody's different. If you have somebody that can, but I'm going off of you're by yourself. So if you want to get a shower seat, you feel more comfortable using a shower, it's better safe than sorry. So just get one if you have access to one, if you can afford one. Maybe you know somebody on the Facebook groups that's already been through this and they still have some of their surgical equipment. Maybe you can borrow one. I mean, whatever. If they live in the same town, you could do that. But for the most part, I did have a walker here that my mom had in her house that she didn't use. I think I may have used that once or twice, because the first couple of times that you get up, you're not able to stand up straight because the burning is intense from the stitches. It's intense, burning pain. But once you're able to actually stand up straight, which I was able to do pretty quickly, I think I probably just kind of like forced myself to stand up straight, because I just couldn't, it was like, just do it and get it over with, I did use the walker to like support myself, and I have a big walking stick that I was using to try to hold myself up to get around. But by any means, the more you get up and the more you walk, the easier it will be. Okay. So don't just sit there like, I'm in pain. Oh. No, honey, get up and walk around, even if it's for 1 to 2 minutes, whatever you need to do, just get up and walk. Okay. So there are some things that I'm going to tell you. I know I'm giving a lot of information, but I know that there's people who are going to get surgery will probably definitely benefit from this. Now, if your surgeon, my surgeon gave me nutritional supplements before my surgery that I had to take, I think a week or 2 weeks before it. I don't know the laundry list of stuff that's in its vitamins, but one of the things that he did prescribe or gave was bromelain. It's the main, not ingredient, but vitamin or whatever that's in pineapple. Okay, so if you don't have access to that, I do think you can get that off of Amazon. Just eat pineapple. So have pineapple in the house so that you can eat it. I would recommend eating it a week before surgery so that you have it. It will help your skin to recover quicker and also decrease the bruising and the swelling. Okay, so does blueberries. You have to work your body from the inside out, okay, for healing. So mega protein diet afterwards. I would not recommend eating carbohydrates after this or anything that's too high in sugar, because I noticed that, because I had it right during Christmas, so of course I'm gonna have like a cookie or two, and I noticed that when I did that, I didn't feel well, and my skin didn't respond too well. So that right away tells me that no, body does not want that. So I did have some pineapple and some blueberries, and the blueberries help with the bruising. I don't know, but they do. So I also got this today. This is called Arnica. This is an Arnica cream. You probably can get it in like a health food store or a CVS. I did order this from Amazon because I didn't buy it beforehand, but I am telling you to get it now. This is something that you can rub on. This is for sore muscles, stiffness, swelling, and bruising. I would wait a couple of days after you've gone to the doctor, you take the binder off. If you have sutures going down the middle of your abdomen, do not put this on, because this is, for some reason, this stuff can spread and it smells and stuff like that. So you don't want anything like that getting into that. Do not put this anywhere near the area where the stitches are. Just keep it in the areas where there's swelling and bruising. When you put the binder on, do not put the binder on your skin. So make sure that you have like a lot. I use tank tops. Make sure that you have a lot of tank tops on hand. Somebody had given me like 50 tank tops. years ago that have been in my drawer that I've never really used. I mean, I use them sometimes, but not all the time. Mostly like just to wear to bed. So I'm super duper grateful for that, because that's what I've been putting on underneath the binder so that I can, be more comfortable this way. The binder's not right up against your skin, because trust me, that will hurt. I have my binder off right now because I'm going to do a video after this to show you how to put on a binder when you're a single person. But anyway, back to some stuff that you can get beforehand, before surgery. Your skin is going to feel weird. You're going to be like, ugh, like I can't, like I'm like that anyway. Like even before I had surgery, like just the thought of like sweat or like, ugh, I hated that. Like just underneath the stomach, like I just hated it. Like I always felt gross. I always felt like ew, like just, I can't. So I used to put a lot of powder underneath there, just like keep it dry. Like if I felt it move, I'm so happy it's gone. Thank you, Dr. Pinsky. I'm so happy it's gone. But yeah, I still have that heebie-jeebie type of feeling where your skin's like, ugh. And just like the thought of it like an infection or just, I can't deal with it. So I use Neosporin, a little bit of Neosporin, lightly around where the surgical tape is going to be, okay, just to keep things, not infected. Also, I would not recommend washing your skin with like overly perfumed body washes. I recommend Dial Gold. It's the antibacterial soap. I definitely recommend that you get that. Sell it everywhere. And then there's another thing just to help to keep you dry, to keep the sweat away, because you're going to be sitting for long periods of time. If it's winter where you are, like it's me, it's cold. So I've had an electric blanket on, and let me tell you, it gets sweaty out there, and sometimes it gets, irritated from that. So, bammo. This is like gauze roll. It's non-adhesive. It's like a soft, cottony gauze. It is absorbent. It stretches and it goes nicely, it fit so nicely, and I feel so much better. I don't feel anything digging. I don't feel like when I put the binder on, like I don't feel anything digging. I don't feel uncomfortable. I know that I'm keeping it clean and dry, and it's okay. All right, so keep these on hand. I think I got, like 4 of these for like $9, just for a little while, okay? Oh, my nose is itching. Excuse me. What else? Okay, so the drains. Yeah, drains suck. You are going to have to empty them out into the little cups. I do recommend labeling them yourself. So get like the little sticky labels that you can put on the cups that they send you home within the hospital. I don't think that... No, get down. You're not jumping up. Sorry, I have a cat. Go. Get out. Go. No. Go play somewhere else. You're not jumping up here. Sorry, buddy boy. Anyway, they're like little cups, and you drain out your drains through there. I'm going to do a separate video on how to drain drains so that you can see how it's done, but I would definitely pre-label them if the hospital doesn't do it for you. 1, 2, 3, or however many drains you're going to have. I have 3, so I have 1 through 3. They did it for me in the hospital. And they also write on the little tags on the drains the numbers so that you can keep track of how much fluid is coming out of which drain and what time. That is super important. Also, I walked around for a couple days with the drains like bulbs. No, they're supposed to, you drain them, you squeeze it first, and then you put the cap back on, so it creates a suction. Otherwise, it's a problem. Nobody told me that. I didn't know that. My friend that had the same surgery was like, da-da-da. Like, you should have known that. But, and we're like, oh, how come it's not draining? How come there's nothing in there? Okay, so make sure you check up on yourself. Always make sure you ask questions and check. They could have told me in the hospital. I don't remember. But again, because your family is not going to be able to come into the hospital with you, you do have to pay attention to everything. And that's why I'm glad you're watching this video. So you're getting all this information. Okay. So, food. Go food shopping. You probably won't have an appetite for the first couple of days. That's probably due to the, oh God, I just got a pain. It's probably due to the anesthesia. I think I had like some sugar-free pudding. I had like a piece of toast. I had a couple of crackers, but it was just because I needed to take my pain medication. The pain medication I did not want to take just because I didn't, I just don't like taking those types of pills, but you will need to take them. Okay. If you know that you have a problem with becoming addicted to things, don't take them. See if you can get like a super Tylenol or, you kind of have to listen to what the doctor tells you. Honestly, I took the pills up until I had surgery on Friday. I stopped taking the pills on Monday and I just switched to ibuprofen because I really didn't need them. Because what the pills would do is they would make me go to sleep and they would also make me very, very hot and also very bitchy. Like I would wake up bitchy, like, ugh, like, and I felt like this is awful. Like and they really, honestly, they really didn't do too much for the pain. So if you're able to take ibuprofen, of course, ask your doctor first before you take anything. Then I would do that. Also, ice packs. When you take your binder off, like after a shower, take your binder off, put some ice on your belly. That will help to decrease the swelling. But I'm just warning you now, as your skin starts to deflate and as it starts to, as the swelling starts to go down, you will feel nerve shocks. You'll know what I'm talking about. They are just like these little shocks that just happen out of nowhere. And it can be uncomfortable and it can hurt. And yeah. So the drains suck. They get in the way of everything, especially in the shower. I've learned to just gather them up and literally tuck them in between my thighs. I wash whatever that area needs to be where I'm holding them in my hand, rinse, and then I put them right back in between my thighs. And that's the only way that I figured out how to do it. Somebody else had said, oh, get a wire hanger and put it around, stretch it out, put it around your neck, hang the things from there. Okay. Why that's not a good idea, why that probably is a great idea, why it's a bad idea is if you're alone and you happen to slip and fall in the shower and now you have a wire hanger around your neck, that could be disastrous. So I would not recommend doing that. What else could you do? If you're not going to use a shower chair, you probably could use a folding chair as long as it's metal. But just make sure you dry it off afterwards so it doesn't rust. You probably could just drape the drains over the back of the chair and then kind of use that as like a support if you don't have a way to put your foot up to like wash in between your legs. But now that the stomach's gone, you don't have to do that anymore, but you're not really going to be able to bend over as much. So I would definitely, do that. What else? Pajamas, pants with pockets. That is the best. They gave me this like strip. I don't have it with me. They gave me this strip that sticks to the binder. It's like a Velcro strip that sticks to the binder and like they hang over it. But then you have the drains hanging off of your stomach. And I've definitely had them fall down in public and people are like, oh my God. So you don't really want that. But if you have pants with pockets, then just put the drains in your pocket and go about your business. That's the best way to do it. But just be careful. Remember that they're there. So when you go to the bathroom, you just pull down your pants slowly, sit down, go into the bathroom sucks. First couple days, it's going to be very uncomfortable. If your doctor prescribes you antibiotics before surgery, especially if you're prone to infections underneath there, make sure they give you a pill called diflucan so that you do not get a yeast infection. Because who the hell needs a yeast infection while you're going through this also? Okay, that's just a little side note. What else? Pillows, comfy pillows. I highly recommend, if you have the money, the purple pillow, because to sit on the couch. Because if your couch sinks down like mine does, or it's hard to get up from, you're not going to have, again, the abdominal muscles to be able to get up. So this will boost you up a little bit higher. It'll also give you some more cushion. I'm more comfortable sitting on that with something behind my back. After a couple of days, I was able to lie down a little bit more, but like I said, it is hard to get back up again. So, just keep that in mind, especially if you're going to be alone after 2-3 days. You're going to really, it's going to suck. Okay. What else? I think that's it. I think that was pretty much the only things that that I can tell you. Um, as far as emotions go, I did have a couple of nights where I was feeling dread. I was like, oh my God, what did I do? But I also had that through weight loss surgery also. Um, I don't want to say ignore it. I want to say acknowledge it. I made a very conscious decision and I said to myself, well, um, this is probably going to be the one and only skin removal surgery that I will have because it's extremely painful, although I know I'm lying because I definitely want to get my arms done. That's definitely necessary. And if it's necessary, we have to go through it. But as far as, I did this for myself, but let's not delude ourselves. You do this so that you could feel more comfortable in clothes. You do this so that you could feel more comfortable having sex. You do this so that you feel just more comfortable and more, better about yourself and your body. There's nothing like going through weight loss surgery and losing all of that weight just to basically have your old body hanging off of your new one, and still like not being able to wear the clothes that you want to wear the way that you want to wear them. Okay. So, but, I know that there's people out there who probably have people, um, who don't want them to get the surgery, who are going to be, jealous and who are going to have something to say. I've had people, say, oh, well, I never noticed, or, oh, I love you the way you are. That's all well and good. And that's nice. And I appreciate that. But you're not me. I love you too, but you're not me. And to say you didn't notice that makes me feel like, are you saying that like I was being dramatic, like I really need to do it, or are you just, I don't know. I can't, that's why it's like, just don't tell anyone about it, because people's opinions, and then now I see like all these girls trying to sell these wraps, like body wraps, or like the new yoga pants and like essential oils of 2022, where everyone's like, oh, it's like getting a tummy tuck, and I'm like, no, it's not. No, it's not. I don't. If that were the case, I wouldn't have had to get a tummy tuck. And if anyone says that to me, anyway. So I'm gonna pull a couple cards for you before I go. If you have any questions, you can always just email me or leave them in the comments. Definitely make sure that you guys subscribe to the channel so you know when I upload more videos. I'll try to do one daily just to like give you progress. I will eventually post pictures. I don't know if I want to post pictures of my body on the internet, but eventually, I think maybe I might keep it at, no one can really see my face, but whatever. Okay, so let's get a card for you guys, give you some inspiration. This is the Unicorn Oracle. It's one of my favorites. Okay, so trust, leap into the unknown, have faith and move forward, believe you will fly. So there's a nice message there for you. This is definitely an unknown territory. And you get some inspire cards, words of wisdom. What do we got? Okay. Just one positive thought in the morning can change your whole day. That's by the Dalai Lama. And I am in control of my thoughts, and I choose to only allow positive ones. Okay. So that's definitely a message for me and everyone out there. Stay positive through this journey. There were a couple of times when I was like, why did I do this? Why? Like, and I'm only 8 days out, and I was literally sitting there beating myself up. Like, why did I do this to myself? I should have just stayed the way I was, and then, you really think about it, and it's like, God gave you, granted you a wish that you had been waiting for a very long time. And here you are. And he helped you to survive. And you have to be grateful, because God created the person that did the surgery and everyone that was in the room for you to have that special skill. And they all worked hard, and they all suffered, and they all did, endless nights. And I'm sure they all sat there like, why am I doing this? Or, oh, this is so hard, and this and that. And then you all come together in one big room to achieve the same goal. Do you understand that? Do you understand how powerful that really is? If you really think about that, right? Like, here's the surgeon going to school, okay? Endless nights of studying, hundreds of classes, hours and hours and hours in the hospital, fixing people, doing all kinds of things that surgeons do to become, certified, working on so many different people. And, in the past, plastic surgery was not for people like us, our size. So for him to take on that responsibility and to know confidently that he could do this for me and for you and your surgeon, whoever, is a blessing. And think about the anesthesiologist who literally holds people's lives in his hands or her hands every single day. One mistake and come on. And all the nurses who went to school, who struggled through night school or nursing school and had to take all those tests and all the experience that they've had to have and everything they've seen. And then there's you who went through whatever you did to get where you need to be, whether it be weight loss surgery or losing weight on your own. All those nights that you said no to all the junk food. All those times that you left work and you went to the gym, or you got up early and you went to the gym, or you worked out, or everything. And just to get yourself to that room, everybody has the same goal in that room, and you all made it happen, and here you are. It's a miracle. It really is. So it's gonna hurt, it's gonna suck, but put a smile on your face, because there was times when I was like, oh, and I would just look in the mirror and I would smile, say I made it. I fucking made it. I'm free, and I made it. And yeah, I look forward to being able to get to the gym so I can finish fixing the rest of my body, building my legs back up again, working on my stomach to make it look even more beautiful than it already does. My arms, until eventually we go for surgery on those, because that will happen. Yeah. Piece of advice though, don't drink so much coffee. Coffee can be very dehydrating. So so stay tuned, because I'm going to make a short video on how you can put a binder on, because I need to put my binder on right now, how you can put a binder on yourself if you're single. Okay, so make sure you stay tuned and come back tomorrow. I will be giving you nutrition tips, and I will definitely be updating you on the progress. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me, and I will answer them to the best of my ability or find someone who can. Okay? So it was nice chilling with you guys. It's so nice to talk to people. I wish you the best of luck if this is where you leave me. Definitely going to try to keep this going throughout the entire first year of surgery. So there's definitely going to be a lot of details coming your way. So my name's Kristen. It's nice meeting you all. Thank you for tuning in. Bye.